Calm Down with Aaron and Charissa is a production of iHeartRadio. Aaron Andrews and action. The regular season is over. Playoff football is upon us. And so we needed to bring in a resident quarterback to break it all down and catch us up on all things. Jay Cutler will be our guest today. He joins us on the Calm Down podcast. He also has his own podcast, which is surprising to me because he's a guy that did not love chatting with us media throughout his career. So that'll be fun to chat with him. He's coming up later. But Aaron, you just got done working the Niners-Rams game, which was unreal. We, of course, record this podcast on Monday and it airs on Thursday. That was one of many great games on Sunday for the last week of the regular season. What was that like for you? I mean, you and I were texting back and forth as it was like getting close to the end. Looked like the Rams were going to win, back and forth. What was the whole thing like?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, my notepad in just like trying to figure out, okay, if it goes this way, I thought that was one of the cool moments of our text chain with me, you, Peter Schrager, was it was coming down to the final minutes. And I was like, I'm going to get Jalen because Jalen, had the interception that led to the Rams scoring points. And then Von Miller makes the big play at the end. And I'm like, it's perfect. And so I loved it because that's what I do with my dad a lot. I do that with Joel Santos, our features producer. I'm always like, kind of just flipping questions and, writing them out. What do you think? What do you think? And Schrager's like, yes, you have to have him talk about the interception. And then, it went into overtime. And then the 49ers won, which I'm not saying I'm upset the 49ers won. We just, I thought my sideline was the Rams. And then Jimmy G drops an F-bomb with Tom Rinaldi. And the whole game, our crew was on such a high when we left. And then the Chargers-Raiders game was outstanding. It was such a cool day of football. Not if you were a Colts fan, though.
Yeah, not if you're a Colts fan, which, you know what? And this is how I always think about it. They could have wrapped it up the week before by beating the Raiders, and they didn't do it then.
No, they didn't take care of business.
No, you didn't take, and so you don't deserve to be there. I'm big on that. And then I can't imagine being a Pittsburgh Steelers fan when you sit there and then you look over, and I was, obviously doing in-game updates all day, and I'm like, you get an update on the score from the Jags game, and you're like, holy shit, because they needed the Colts to lose in order for their team to get in. Then they were behind at that point. They were behind by like a touchdown or a field goal or whatever. And then I'm like, can somebody tell them on the sideline that the Colts are going to lose? Like, let's put a little pep in our step here to beat the Ravens, because that's not an easy out anyways. So, it was a really fun day of football. And then I met up with Terry Bradshaw after the show with my parents because they're in town and they love seeing Terry. And then we FaceTimed you from the bar where we were at. And that game was crazy. I thought it was going to be a tie. And it was just one of those Sundays that, I mean, there's a lot of great football throughout the year, but that final game of the regular season where so many dominoes have to fall for people to get in was awesome. So, well, good. So speaking of quarterback, we're going to have Jay Cutler on, but you made headlines this week for some nonsense. I think it's nonsense that you hugged Aaron Rodgers after the game, after you guys, who did they play that game? I don't remember.
That was our Christmas Day game. That was the game that he broke Brett Favre's record for most touchdowns thrown by a Green Bay Packer. And it was crazy. I think I pretty much have hugged Aaron Rodgers since I started covering the NFL. He's been a good friend of mine for the last 15 years. And, not even that. It was so funny because I think the people close to me in my life, including my family members to other quarterbacks I know or other players, are like, why is this a big deal? And I loved Pat McAfee for joking around with him and being like, you two got to stop hugging. And I loved Aaron kind of saying like, she's my friend. And second of all, like, it's like him mentioning, well, it's like I hug other guys, opposing players, when I see them. I was like, yeah, like I'm looked at like one of the guys. But it was funny. Like Sunday, I hadn't seen Odell, and he ran over by me, and I was like, how you doing? And he looked so happy, and I just said, God, I miss that smile. And he was like, good to see you, and he gave me a hug. Saw Von Miller, gave him a big hug because, he did Dancing with the Stars. A lot of people forget, we are with these guys 18 weeks out of the year. We see them all the time. We're with them during the highs, during the lows of their career. I'm grateful for, the access they've given me. And I got to tell you, for the first time, whether you want to call Aaron Rodgers a lightning rod with his stance on COVID or whatever. I don't want to get involved in that. What I'm getting involved in is sports. And I was pumped he broke the record. I thought it was a cool moment. I was glad I got to cover it and be there. The fans are chanting MVP. You know, he has had so much adversity with that organization. Am I staying? Am I not staying?
We were in Montana during his press conference together, watching and like hanging on every word he was saying and trying to defend that position. Yeah.
It was just a really, really cool moment. And so interview's over. Yeah, I gave him a big hug. Merry Christmas. Go enjoy it. And for the first time in my career, I kind of thought this was like a chick thing. They're going after it because I'm a female. Now, maybe I have it wrong and they're just going after it because Aaron's a lightning rod right now. But I will say this. No one has said anything when Greg Olsen and Kittle tackled and hugged each other. In fact, it's an NFL meme. In fact, they used it in the middle of the game because it's a cool moment. Greg and Kittle are tackling and then we do a big hug. You know, I've watched Monday Night Football where You Got Mossed is then hugging the guy. And I never get that way because I'm very, very grateful for my job and I'm so grateful for my employers. But for the very first time, I was like, is this because I'm a chick? If I had been a guy and I gave him a hug, would anyone have cared? That was the first time in my career I felt that way.
That's interesting that you say that's the first time you felt that way because you and Melissa Stark had the conversation.
I don't know if it's the first time, but I just wanted to write it so bad because I was like, I had all these other examples. Stafford beat Seattle on Thursday Night Football. He's a friend of mine. I'm friends with his wife. I gave him a big hug and it was on camera after and no one cared. Right. But so maybe it's because Aaron's a lightning rod, maybe whatever. I mean, it was just so stupid. Slow news day.
Well, but I along those same lines, you and Melissa Stark talked about it when she was a guest on the Calm Down podcast or hosted with you, about having numbers, like getting numbers of players and asking them for their number.
Yeah.
To,
God forbid.
I mean, if and I've had this be a problem in relationships where it's like, well, why do you have so-and-so's number? It's like, because I cover them and that's access that if you establish relationships with these guys completely platonically and it's a double standard. And, you know, you and I are always the first to like always err on the side of like, we want to be one of the guys, like go with the flow, all that kind of stuff. But there are real moments where you're like, oh, okay, this is different. Whether it's an outfit you're wearing or, you know, something, there are always double standards. And in this particular case for you, it's interesting to hear you say that.
And I know that there's the other argument. We're doing the interview 6 feet apart because of the COVID protocol. It is what it is. I understand that. I'll do whatever the NFL needs me to do. But if a player's coming in to give me a hug, it's a 2-second thing. It's not like, I'm not worried about getting infected. I'm on a sideline that is packed with people, by the way, and I'm standing a lot closer to them than I am the player.
Tested, and you went through protocols,
and vaccinated and boosted and all the things. So, people are like coming after me in my DMs. Well, why do you stand that far apart? Because I'm doing what the NFL says. They pay my checks. Whatever you want. But you know what? Afterwards, I'm going to give my friend a hug, and then I'll go give the whoever. It's like. I had somebody, a funny person, kind of say to me on a conference call the other day. It was like, hey, if I give you a hug, am I going to get in trouble? And I was like, just do it and see what happens. But calm down.
No news day and calm down. Thank you, America. All right, we're excited. Jay Cutler coming up after our quick little break. We talk NFL and a whole lot more. Stay with us and calm down. The questions. Where are you in this setup?
You look great.
Thank you. I'm in the studio, my studio in Nashville.
My studio in Nashville. Are you at the Aldean's house? Is this where he's recording his next album?
I'm going over there this afternoon to watch the game.
Oh my God, I love them so much. We got wasted at the Masters together. And then Jason got mad at Brittany and I for talking way too loud on the course. She's a time.
Yeah, I was in Vail and they were there, and we watched the SEC championship game there, and then we all went down to Mar-a-Lago for New Year's Eve and
saw the pictures.
Played golf with Trump. Did the whole thing. It was an interesting time.
Can we go back to the national championship? Who do we have tonight, guys? You know who I have.
Well, Erin loves Nick Saban. She's going to name her child Saban. Fun fact.
I think it's just hard as hell to beat a team twice. especially almost back-to-back weeks like that.
I don't think
Jay, by the way, welcome to the Calm Down podcast.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Thank you for joining us here.
Yeah.
What's
Didn't have
going
a choice, I don't think.
You didn't have a choice, actually. Did you watch, I need to know percentage-wise, NFL games yesterday, how many did you watch? 50%, 80%?
Like 10%.
What? You don't watch anymore? You're over it?
I watched Saturday. I watched Saturday's games, and then I watched the end of the Raiders-Chargers game.
Dude, how sick was that? Did you think it was going to end in a tie?
I thought it was. I thought Pittsburgh was going to be out. I was like, there was a 99% chance they were in, and like that 0.1% was going to get them.
Well, how about the fact that headed into that game with the Ravens, they only had an 8%, I love numbers, and only had an 8% chance to make the playoffs. And then the Colts shitting the bed. Unbelievable. So you don't watch a lot of football in general?
Yeah, I'm offended. We did the Rams game. What the hell? You're not putting us on? Your old friends, Troy, Joe, and Aaron?
Camden, my 9-year-old, like loves watching. So if I'm with them, we definitely watch. But we just got back from Chicago. We did Bears, Bulls, Blackhawks 3 days in a row. So,
that's so cute.
So, I took the boys and we had some friends. Like there was 4 dads and 7 kids.
Oh my God, Jay.
So I was kind of burned out. I was like, I just need to go away from sports for a minute.
Okay, so you go to Chicago. Now, when you go back to Chicago and you're standing on the field, assuming you're on the field, are you saying to yourself, I can still do this, I still want to do this, or hell no to any of it?
I mean, did you watch that Bears game last week?
So you could still play? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I think I could go 4 for 11 for 25 yards. I think I
so why aren't you? Don't you miss those production meetings?
That was my favorite part, actually. No.
Wait, no. So Aaron and I were talking about that, actually. We were talking about how much knowing you, how much you probably hated those things.
You were always really nice to us, though.
It was, well, I mean, some of it is just like, we're not going to answer some of these questions. But like, as you got older, you realize, all right, it doesn't matter. Just tell them whatever the hell they want to tell them.
Yes, exactly. Chris and I were asking this. Post-game interviews. What's the one question you freaking cringe when a reporter asks a player?
Like in
why
Chicago,
did you ask that?
Like, it would be like, like what happened on an interception? Or like, why'd you throw it there? And, well, you know what? There's 75 different things that happened here. And if sometimes like the receiver just fell down, but you can't be like, hey, the receiver fell down.
Yeah, you can't blow him up.
Yeah,
you can't be like, you know what, the OC called an awful play. I just ran it, and or if it was 3rd and 10, you're down by 20. It's like I'm just pushing the ball down the field. Like you can't say those things. You're like, you know what, I just got to do better next time. It's like, no,
that is not what you would ever say. There's never a quote. We will scour the internet where Jay Cutler said, you know what, I'm just going to try harder next time. You did not ever say that.
I did not say that.
You did not say that.
I came from Denver where, Mike Shanahan was there, and like Mike took the blame for 99% of the stuff that happened.
Wow.
So like my first 3 years, it was like Mike would be like, just go out there and play football. I'll handle the rest. And
cool.
So I came into the league under that, and I got, that he just took care of me. And then I got to Chicago, and I was like, okay, this is a different animal here.
Well, speaking of,
it was structured differently too.
And we were talking about, because all the coaching, the firings today, which always happens the last game of the regular season. How many different coaches did you have in Chicago?
Well, I mean, I had Lovey, I had Tressman, I had Fox. Fox just randomly texted me a couple days ago.
What's that guy up to? Hanging out with Jay Glazer? What's going on?
No idea. I need to text him back and figure out what he's up to. But
Are you not a good texter backer? I feel like you would be like a 4-day. Like, you're not a right away text guy. What's the window?
No,
2 to 4 days, 5 to 7.
Well, that's my problem, because you get to like day 2, 3, or 4, and then it's like, Is it awkward and rude that I text you back? Or do I just not text back at all? And then it's like, well, maybe they didn't see it, or they're just a real dickhead. I'm not sure. So I flirt with that line way too much.
I love that.
You know what my move always is when I have to text that person back, I'll write, oh my God, I totally didn't see the message above. My bad. Like, just call it out then and then get to what you want.
Does that work?
Yeah, it works. It depends on who it is. But all right, so you got to text Foxy back. So you had 4 total coaches.
4 total coaches, but then like the amount of I don't even remember the amount of OCs we had. Which makes more of a difference because I mean we were learning a different language like every 2 or 3 years.
I was just gonna say how difficult that was. So you were 8 years total in the NFL.
Stop it.
I want to go back to what we came on with.
It? Are you 11?
12.
12?
Yeah.
Oh, because you were 8 in Chicago. Yeah. Okay, so between Denver, the Bears, and Miami, because you were only there for a second. Got it. 12 years in the NFL. What were you gonna say, E?
Well, he was then supposed to come to us, right? To Fox.
I know.
And you would have had a great time. No, I want to have Jay tell us what he was talking about when we started this. The best thing to start with is like a really great GM. Who do you love, Jay? Like who in your mind is a kick-ass GM?
I mean, you were talking about the Jets. I love the Jets GM.
Yeah.
I mean, he was in Chicago whenever Foxy was there. And I mean, they're gonna get it flipped, I think. And then, I know the assistant GM, those guys are really good football people. They know football, they know talent, they know culture. They're gonna get it figured out. Like, it's just some of these teams are just so bad. Like the Jets are so bad. The Jags are so bad. Like they have no talent. So
tell the Colts that. Okay, so you get to start. Okay, so you're starting with the GM. Who's the quarterback right now you pick to build your organization around? Who's a quarterback you love?
A young kid?
I mean, anyone.
Anyone.
Well, I mean, anyone. I mean, that's not a fair question. I mean, there's Aaron. There's
our
Patrick.
game. We can do whatever we want. You do Aaron. You want Aaron? We'll give you Aaron.
Yeah, I'll take Aaron.
Okay. Okay, great.
Who's our offensive coordinator?
I think Aaron's got another 5 years in him, at least, if he wanted to.
Do you think Aaron wants to play 5 years? Well, yeah, but do you think he wants to?
I would say no. I doubt he wants to play 5 more years.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he wants to play another year in Green Bay. I don't even know if he wants to play another year, period.
I know.
You guys saw each other a lot in the NFC North. What's your relationship with him? Are you close with him?
They're friends.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say we're super close. I just heard that he's moving to Nashville, though, too.
On the reality show that you did, which there was a myriad of reasons you did it, but you came across...
Well, there's only one reason I did it.
Well, okay, yeah, fair enough. But you came across so likable, and we know you, obviously, from sports and life, but people that didn't know you were like, this guy rules, because you basically just, shit on anything reality TV wise and kind of opened up and pulled back that curtain, whatever. Did you enjoy the process at all?
Yeah, there's parts of it I definitely enjoyed. And we were fast. We were so quick. The producers would come in and, we had a storyline and all this stuff, and they would come in and they'd be like, all right. And we really only filmed when the kids were at school. We only filmed in a couple rooms in the house.
Yeah.
So, or, if we were on location somewhere. Great closet. Great closet. It's very true. But we would and they would come in and be like, all right, this is what we want you guys. This is kind of where we want this to go. And then, Kristen's, she grew up in that world. So she was on it. So, we'd click it off pretty quickly. And an hour later, they're rolling out. So it wasn't bad. It was fun. I enjoyed it. There's parts I didn't enjoy. It was invasive, having cameras in your house for 4 months, because they would just leave lights up, leave everything up.
Oh, I'd be afraid that the cameras rolling, and now I'm in a fight, and now it's a problem, and now we're recording.
Yeah. There were some fights that just we were like, this obviously isn't making it, so we're cutting that out. And Kristen was an EP, so kind of had final say on every last cut of everything. So
that's cool. I know you don't care about all the Hollywood stuff, and you've been really great about that. But it seems, and I'm not going to pretend to know your own situation, but it seems like you guys have a great relationship in spite of everything. Obviously, your 3 children. Don't even laugh at me. Yeah. I'm being serious. That's hard to do.
Yeah. I wouldn't say great. It's working out. I think over time it'll settle and it'll get better. But you do the best you possibly can. And with 3 kids involved, there's certain parts you just have to figure it out.
Yeah, of course.
Less is more. Less is more probably right now with our relationship, but it's fine.
Yeah. As someone who's an expert in divorce, I get it. Okay, Jay, we're going to have some fun with you. You ready for this?
Wait, can I ask one thing? I want to ask about, not even ask about, but I remember one episode, and actually my husband was sitting and watching. I can't remember, Jay, if you were painting. You were doing something. My husband's like being married to Monica Geller from Friends. He's really freaking OCD. Like, I always leave this analogy out there. If you go out and you have a really good time and you just like leave all your crap on the side of the bed, and it's just like, he's like, hey, so how long is that going to lay there? I'm like, it's been like a night, fucking lax. Like, it's fine, you know? But God, I forgot if you were like painting or just like
painting, we were painting the closet windows, actually.
Yes. Yeah. And were you so just detailed with it? Like, you were, and Jarrett was like, I felt like he was really getting attracted to you. It was just like, oh my God, there's somebody else like me. Like, he was like, this guy's great. Like, he's great. And I was like, yeah, okay.
But it was great. More like, that was like for camera. That was just for show. Like, I painted.
Oh, like, so really you're not like that?
I mean, with 3 kids under the age of 10, like, they literally come home and just destroy stuff. So like, I found myself the last like year and a half, like being like, all right, I have to have everything in order. I've got to. But like when they're gone, I just like, I don't care. Like, I guarantee there's probably like chips and like a bunch of shit like out on the kitchen counter right now.
Oh, that's the beauty though of like being single again. Go for it. Leave your shit everywhere. Do whatever you want. No one's going to be like, you have to pick that up. Okay. So wait, we have a lot of things we want to talk to you about. Couple things. We got to talk football. Have you looked at this playoff matchup?
Which one?
He didn't even watch
the
yesterday.
NFL. Have you looked at the playoff scenario? Okay, I'm gonna run it down for you.
I can catch up really fast. Just give it to me.
Okay, so Aaron's you're working the Tampa Eagles game. There's San Francisco, Dallas, Arizona, and the Rams. Who's coming out of the Arizona and the Rams game?
I think it's going to be the Rams.
Why?
I think that Arizona's young. I think the offense is young. Playoff football is a little bit different. It's faster.
You're right.
I think Stafford's going to come into his own. He's going to get back on track. That defense was legit.
So legit.
You know, I think they've got a lot of veteran guys that have been there, done it. Coach has been there, done it. You know, I think they're going to be a little bit looser than Carolina.
Wait, what would you have been like with a Sean McVay as your coach?
What have I been like?
Yeah, like
I love him.
I love him too. Yeah.
And I love how vocal he is in the headset. You know, he's talking you through it. He's walking you through it. I think he does a really good job. I mean, I've always loved Stafford. I've always loved the way he played.
Same.
I thought they absolutely railroaded him in Detroit for all those years. So it's cool to see because, I mean, I think he's one of the most talented dudes in the NFL by far. Like, his arm talent is ridiculous. So it's good to see him with a coach like that gets it and can use him the right way.
How about McVay yesterday, Aaron, having worked the game? You saw it. McVay, like, getting told by the officials to get back on the sideline. He's like in the end zone after they scored, like all jacked up.
How he hasn't pulled a hammy or ripped an Achilles blows my mind. I mean, my man needs like an IV at halftime. He is just up and down like a crazy person. And
he's only like 5'3". His hamstrings is like really like
yeah, true. A lot of lengthening, you know. Yeah. He's great.
All right, so just give me your. We won't bore you with all of them. Just give me your NFC.
No,
team.
I want Dallas, San Francisco.
Okay, you want Dallas,
I want to hear that one.
Do it.
I think that's kind of going to be a toss-up. I think, you know, Shanahan's a hell of a coach, and they've got some talented guys.
Ron Lynch, there's my GM.
I mean, Dallas. I mean, they put up 40 or 50 something this past game versus Philly. I don't think Philly was really trying that much. I haven't bought into the hype of Dallas.
Why?
And I like Dak. I haven't bought into the hype of him. I think Dallas's OC is really good. I'm just never been a Dallas. I haven't bought into them. So I think that's going to be a tighter game than people think. What's the line? Anybody know?
I don't even get betting.
I love betting. I'm an avid gambler. I haven't looked at lines. I would guess in that game, I'd say at least 7.
Dallas?
Mm-hmm.
Go look it up. Is it not out? When did these things come out?
Ryan, our wonderful producer, will tell us in the chat what the line is.
Aaron, you know nothing about betting?
I swear.
Jay, We're on a text.
I have so much information too about these games, and I don't know a thing about it.
We literally have a text chain with Jackie Quick, Jonathan Quick, the awesome goalie for the Kings, who her and I love gambling. And so Aaron started us on this text chain called Fox Bet. Dallas out -3. No shit. At home,
that means they're expected to win by 3 points.
No way, Aaron. So Aaron, Jay, you'll like this. Okay, Aaron. So what do you think it means?
Yes, so that is right. They're expected to win by 3 points.
They get 3 points because they're the better team. So,
I don't want to hear they get 3 points. They're expected to win by 3, right?
I mean, 3 points in the NFL. That's just a home advantage. Like it's basically a
dude. Why are we jockeying? We are jockeying San Francisco after.
Yeah.
Oh, did you watch
by the way, we were talking about at halftime with Aaron. We're texting you with Traeger being like, Trey Lance needs to go in at halftime. They had a great second half. Get off my San Fran.
Wait,
know.
Jay, I have a question about that. I know you didn't watch our game and I'm highly offended, but I am wondering, so exactly, like we're thinking, shit, it's going to be a blowout. Like this is the time I'm getting on air now. I got stuff, guys. Got stuff from Aaron Donald's childhood. Here we go. So, but yeah, and like McVay comes out and he's like, yeah, we're going to run the ball. My Jay doesn't know I do impressions.
Oh my God, Jay, she's unbelievable. Do your Troy. Aaron, do your Troy.
Hold on, let me do Sean first. Hey, Aaron, I'm really happy with our defense. I love the way we played all around. And what we're going to do here is we're going to come out, we're going to try to run the ball, we're going to sustain drives, and we got to finish. And I was like, Sean, you've really checked all the boxes. You guys have done everything. 3 and out. Like, it's a physical game. Yeah, but we got to finish.
Too good.
Yeah.
Troy.
I love it. Joe Buck can do it a lot better. But anyways, so what the hell happens? Like, honestly, it looks like it's going to be a blowout. And I love Kyle Shanahan. I love some Yeezys. Yeah. I love a flat brim. I love his freaking swag. I do. I'm into Kyle Shanahan.
How does flat brim?
Yes.
Yeah, I do too.
He wears it well. I also love that Montana shirt you're wearing right now too.
You guys been in California too long, I think.
No,
yeah.
No.
So wait,
you can't do the 2 curved in baseball hat where you used to put a baseball and like wrap that with a rubber band. My brother did that all the time.
Do that like a slight curve.
No, I like how he's got it. I like how he pulls up the mandated like football pants a little bit up to his shins. Raheem Morris was doing that yesterday. I'm into the whole vibe. Like we're not wearing that shit to our ankles. We're pulling it up. Hey, so how do you just like shift shit in the locker room? I know that that's what you guys are paid very well to do, but that's incredible. Like they just came and ran the goddamn ball after that.
She's talking about halftime adjustments. Like you go in at halftime.
It was crazy.
San Francisco, not watching the game, let's say you're down at half by a lot in an instrumental game, you win and you're in the playoffs. What are you saying to your team? Are you saying anything? What is said? Go.
Well, I think you got to talk to the OC. Like if you're struggling, it's like, all right, like why? What are they playing? Are they just zoning us out? Are they playing too high? Are we just missing blocks? Are we messing up? Is this a penalty situation? Are we just turning the ball over? Are we doing dumb shit? Or are they actually taking something away? Mm-hmm. Where, if you just start running the football, like you probably just weren't calling enough runs in the first half and they're just daring you to run the ball.
But are you vocal? Are you standing up and saying something? Raw motivation?
Depends on the game. I don't think I was ever a huge rah guy. Then there's certain situations where you got to wake some dudes up. But I mean, I would want to have the conversation with the OC. Like, all right, this is what I'm seeing. What are you seeing? This was a garbage call. This one was on me. This one was because the line sucked. This one was because receivers, busted a route. But are we seeing the same thing, feel wise? Like this is how they're playing the game versus us. And this is what we got to do. We either got to run them out of what they're doing or we've got to, figure something else out.
What happened with that interception?
What'd you say?
What happened with that interception? No, I'm kidding.
Exactly.
Poor Matthew.
Or what adjustments? I'll never forget this, you guys. I was covering every Lions game because I was a baby reporter and got all the shit games. And it was the year that they fucking 0-16. And Rod Marinelli at halftime, I was like, oh, coach, what adjustments are you to make at halftime? He goes, that's a great perfume you're wearing. I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, this isn't going to work. I'm like, all right, I got to make up a report. I'm not kidding. I made up a report.
I've done that too for a coach that I didn't want to throw under the bus because he was telling me all the wrong stuff.
Dude, hey, attention. We can make up reports. You're not going to say anything that's going to put them in a bad spot. What were you saying, Jay? Sorry.
But I mean, 0-16, like, what do you say at that point as a coach?
Exactly.
Like, you literally just have to raise your hand, like, you know what? We're just not very good. We kind of suck.
I wish you would have said that.
Well,
that would have been phenomenal.
It's the truth.
Do you have any regrets, Jay? Oh, sorry. No. Keep going. I wrote it down already.
Aaron, go.
No, I was just going to say, like, things to say. Do you have any regrets in your career? Something you wish you could do over?
Oh, I love that.
You know, when I was going through the draft, I was with the Titans kept bringing me in just because I was at Vanderbilt, and Jeff Fisher was the coach then, and he was like, "Hey, you know, I asked Vince this, I asked Matt Leinart this, like, he was, if you could change anything with your career, like, what would it be?" And I was like, you know, and I thought there for a second, and I was like, you know what, I don't think there is, like, it is what it is. You know, I'm sitting right here. And looking back on my career, there's certain games you want to change. There's certain plays you want to change. But like at the end of the day, there's nothing I would change. There's nothing drastic I would change. There's nothing I would do really over again. You know, I like where I'm at now. You know, enjoyed my time in Chicago. There were shitty parts. There were great parts. You know, got 3 kids out of there. So, I mean, it's fun. I mean, I enjoy it. Looking back on it, there's a lot of fond memories. And whenever we went to the game, you know, we took the boys to the game. It was great being back. Everyone in Chicago was fabulous. You know, we went to dinner. Like, we had fun. So, you know, I wouldn't change anything.
Jay, I know I make fun of you.
You don't know what's going to happen. You change one thing and
yeah,
totally. Yeah. That's like a movie.
I know I make fun of you sometimes with the don't care comment. Yeah. Were you surprised by how big of a deal that became when you said, don't care?
I don't know if I said it.
What do you mean?
Do you know the story?
Tell us your story. Because I think I know the story that everyone, like, you were asked a question and you just said you don't care.
That's not the story.
Well, then set the record straight, Jay.
The story, I mean, I probably did say that in a interview at some point. But the story goes that someone came up to me in a bar in the bathroom, and we're in the bathroom. I'm going to the bathroom at a urinal, and he comes up and he's like, "Hey, you know, I went to Vanderbilt too," and I just said, "Don't care."
Right.
And that's
as you're holding
story.
Your wiener.
Yes.
Well, yeah, like who wants to talk about it while you're peeing?
I know, and whether it happened, I don't know. Or
Go
someone else was asking about that. I mean, it very well could have happened, absolutely, but I can't verify yes or no. So I just say, I mean, probably did. I don't know.
Got it. Okay. Well, because it just became like this bigger thing, and you know, in the world of the internet, memes and all this other stuff that was like attached to you. So I wondered if you actually cared about that.
No, because after I heard the story, I was like, you know, it's
whatever.
I mean, I apologize to that Vandy kid, but honestly, I don't care.
Apologize to the kid at the urinal. Okay. Who's your NFC contender? All options are on the table. Who's going to the Super Bowl?
Green Bay.
Okay. And at the AFC.
You gotta go through Green Bay.
What?
So everyone's got to go through Green Bay. Aaron's on fire. It's going to be cold. All the things. Defense is good.
Who's your AFC team?
I think the AFC is more of a toss-up. I'm in Nashville. Nashville people are going to hate me for this. I'm not sold on the Titans. I still like Patrick and the Chiefs. I think it's going to if I had to pick one, I'd say the Chiefs.
Well, Aaron, if that ends up happening for it'll be the Super Bowl. But you guys had that matchup earlier in the year, and then Aaron didn't play, which sucks for you.
Yeah.
Was that a COVID game?
That was the COVID game. But then I had the Dallas KC game, and that was a whole different, that was a different outcome than we thought was going to happen. It was like, where did this defense come from? I don't know.
Aaron's kind of went all in on the COVID thing.
Has he? I haven't noticed.
No way.
Don't hug him. It'll be talked about.
Yeah, he's definitely he's all in.
Yesterday, I hugged Odell Beckham, and after I did it, I said, I hugged him. Who has a picture?
So stupid. Wait, actually, can you believe Aaron, you and I haven't talked about that, how dumb that became that it was like the front page article in the New York Post for hugging after an interview. Like, who gives a shit?
Yeah, why was that a thing?
I've hugged Matthew Stafford this year. I've hugged Jay,
Yeah.
I'm hugging you in my mind right now with your voluminous hair. It looks fantastic. I don't know, but I think is it just because he is just like this guy that everybody, is either you're happy with him or you're not happy with him. Is Sparkplug the right word, Charissa? What is it? He's just the guy right now that everybody's having a good time going after. What's the word, Charissa?
Lightning rod.
Yeah. Good. You win. Yeah, he's a lightning rod. It's unreal. It's
gonna be even worse after the season too. For him.
Do you think he stays in Green Bay?
I think he does.
I'm gonna hug him wherever he goes.
Yeah.
So the wait, hold on. I wanted to ask you about the other thing too. Okay, because I think this is funny. Ready? We're gonna do rapid fire, Jay. Care or don't care?
Love it.
Care.
You hold several franchise records for the Bears, including most touchdown passes, passing yards, and wins as a starting quarterback. Care or don't care?
Care.
Good. You were 500 as a starter in Chicago, and the team overall record 500 is below 500 since you left. Care or don't care?
Wow.
Absolutely care.
Yeah.
Brady leading the league in touchdown passes at 44. Care or don't care?
Impressed, but don't care.
Interesting. Can you imagine? How old are you now?
38.
38. So you said that you would go back and play for the Bears, given the recent performance.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did. We'll check the tape. That you did. Everyone, Jay's coming back.
Yes. Anyway, moving on.
Can you believe that dude is still playing at 44?
Well, I tell you what. I mean, you guys have been in enough locker rooms, and you've seen how like guys take care of themselves, what they eat, like how shitty it is. Like these guys are literally just, they're out partying, they're running on fumes. I think guys have gotten a little bit smarter in that regard. But like Tom has been a robot for like the past like 10 years. Like wheatgrass. I don't think he's had a carb since like 2012.
I've seen him eat a carb.
He's doing everything under the sun, and he's probably doing some things like we don't even know about that are like cutting edge. So I will say, like, I think if you probably track his hits and keep his stats, I guarantee he's on the very, very low side of things of quarterbacks in the past 10 years. I'd be shocked if he's anywhere close to being in the middle.
Hey, Jay, his center, Ryan, Troy's obsessed with him. He's one of the funniest dudes to watch. Well, just, he's running around a push guy. Like, he's just like, he's an animal. I guess he's like a black belt. I don't know if you've ever paid attention like us losers have to do, but he's a funny watch, man.
Didn't Tom like make him like, doesn't he have to wear like a towel? Like
the towel shoved down. Yep. Yeah.
Wait, I don't know this. What is it?
Like when he first got there, they got down to Tampa, and it's hot as hell down there. Like whenever I played down in Miami, I was like, "This is a different animal." And like Florida just sucks in the summer, especially playing there like September. And Tom, he put his hand under his ass, and like just dripping, just ass sweat. He was like, you know what? Like we're gonna stuff a towel down there. So if you watch games, if it's hot, like there's a towel like stuffed down his ass, and I'm sure he has to change it. Quarterly or whatever.
What?
If it's a blowout on Sunday, I'll do that story. I think Troy's told this story on air. Yeah, he's definitely asked Tom about it.
There's a whole pun in blowout in that story right there.
Absolutely.
Writes itself. Okay, Jay, care or don't care, cryptocurrency or NFTs? I don't know what that means.
Gosh, you know what? I don't. It's not that I don't care. I don't understand it.
I don't understand any of it. Thank God. Okay, we're in this together.
I don't even understand betting.
Have you guys figured out like this Metverse thing too?
No, I just know that it says Meta now on Instagram, and that's like as close as I get to understanding what's going on.
Meta world peace?
So the Metverse.
Still playing for the Lakers?
The Metverse is like this virtual reality like world, and now they're selling real estate in the metaverse. So like you can buy like a house in the metaverse and like that's your real estate and you can go visit it. I'm terrified for my kids. I'm terrified for my kids. Like I want to turn off the internet.
Yeah.
No,
well, it's not even working, Jay.
Yes.
So you don't have to worry
that's
about
true.
it.
You have your Cricket Wireless isn't coming through right. New Year's resolutions, care or don't care?
Mine was no, don't care. I was like, I just need to drink more water.
Drink more water. Me too. I'm with you on that. Okay, maybe you already answered this with the urinal kid. Care or don't care? Fans asking for a picture or selfie?
I do it. So I mean, I guess that makes me care, but I don't really care. I don't care.
I need a good. Okay, you'll do it. Like, because you're nice. I need a good story. There has to be a story where someone's asked for a picture or selfie or something, and it's like awkward, or it's a chick or something. Like, I need a good.
We already
story.
heard about the urinal. God.
I mean, a couple.
Nothing gets worse.
We were out. I think we were out Saturday, and I don't have a good. This is my best story that I have just recently. I was out Saturday, and we were watching the games at a bar, and there was a bunch of people there. Me and some of my rich friends and leapers. You know them.
Rich, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Troubadour.
Do I know anyone?
I mean, I was with Trace and his crew.
Oh well, famous enough for me. I got it.
Yeah, and we were out and about, and there was this other group that was kind of beside us, and like the groups kind of started merging and stuff. And this girl came up and she was like, "Hey, can you take a picture?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And she handed me her phone and then turned around to like the group of her girls. And she was like, all right, take the picture. And I was like, you got it. Do you want the flash on?
High angle?
That's amazing. You thought she wanted a picture with you and she just wanted you to take the picture. That's unbelievable. That's good.
So I took like 6 of them and I was like, just let me know if this is good.
High angle. You always got to go high angle for the girls. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh my God, Jay, that's really good. My friend, 12 years, played in 2 playoff.
You said 8 earlier.
Bro, I mean, that was with Chicago. Calm down. And so then you won 1 playoff game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Matthew Stafford is going to be playing in his 4th playoff game and has yet to win a playoff game. And so when you talk so highly about him or a lot of guys in the league that still don't have that 1 playoff win, what is different about the playoffs and what's different about getting that first win under your belt?
It's just faster. I mean, the fans, it's faster. Everyone's, I remember whenever we went to playoffs in Chicago and like the town was electric. So, I mean, it's just, everything's kind of amped up. Like when the season first starts, like September, like guys are flying around, hits are huge, defenses are fast, holes are closing real quick. And then you get into like October, November, some of December, and like, there'll be 4 starters that are down. Everyone's a little bit slower. And then I feel like it ramps right back up when the playoffs start. And it's just, it's exciting. So, I mean, he's done it enough. It won't face him.
I love it.
Go, Matthew.
What did you say?
Oh, go Matthew.
Go Matthew.
Yeah. I hope they make a run. He deserves it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he's tough as hell. He's played through so much stuff.
That one Browns game.
And he's got the shit beat out of him. That dude's got
the shit beat out of him a series. Yeah. This one drive that they had. God.
Jay Cutler, you are a father first, you are a former NFL quarterback, and you are now the host of your own podcast, Uncut with Jay Cutler. Jay, for a guy that I think you would say wasn't obsessed with media, how are you enjoying being on the other side of the microphone?
It's a good question. And I fought it for a long time. I was like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. And I've found that I've enjoyed it more than I thought I would, for sure. I haven't followed your guys' podcast career that closely. I watched some over the weekend. And
Matt Damon can follow our career, but you can't. You're very busy.
Yeah, according to Matt Damon, we have a famous podcast. So
Aaron, tell him that story so we can feel better about ourselves. Jay, start respecting us, would you?
I'm gonna
My
try.
hus-
I'm gonna try. But it's been fun, and you guys talk to a lot of different people. So I talk to a lot of different people. Keep it like I talked to a Bigfoot guy, we had an alien guy coming on in a couple of weeks. You know, we
Cool.
talk sports, we talk, some politics. I talked to Dan Carcillo, who played for the Blackhawks. He does medicinal mushrooms.
I
He
know
started a
him.
company. So it's been fun. It's been surprisingly fun.
Well, you're very good at it. And for a guy that resisted it, keep doing it. Thank you for being on our podcast.
Yeah,
We
pleasure.
appreciate and have fun at the Aldines. Tell Brittany I said hello.
I will do just that.
Oh my God, she's a time. I need to drink with her immediately. Aaron, you would love her.
I've been around Jason.
Yes.
I haven't met her, but I follow her and I feel like I'm friends with her. Maybe when she's at the urinal, I'll talk to her about going to Alabama because I love Nick Saban too. So
You guys would love her. She's fabulous.
yeah. She looks
Jay,
like
we appreciate you.
Calm Down with Erin and Charissa is a production of iHeartRadio.
For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.